Greetings, everyone. Well, I'm gonna give a minute for people to come in. Happy, what is today? As I'm thinking about it, I know what day it is, right? Hi, Cubicle Chick, my family, Miss Shishi. All right, the people are coming. I literally, y'all, I ran to go grab some water. I thought about it. I said, wait a minute. I'm about to start and I don't have a beverage. I wish I had some bourbon. Shout out to Will. I know you'll find out Will loves to drink bourbon. I wish I had some bourbon or a sip of something. I'm gonna give a minute or two for people to get in here. Hope everyone is doing good. Oh, well, my family is here. Hey, everybody. Thank you guys for all coming. We appreciate you supporting us. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Shia, for having the drink. The babe is here. Oh, thank you, Court. I thought I did. There we go. All right. And let me know when our vendor is here, just in case. I want to make sure I do not miss him at all. Keeping track of my time. But we're going to get started. Again, greetings everyone for coming out tonight. If some of you don't know, my name is Tiffany Taylor. I'm trying not to look at the comment section. I'm going to look, but not look. Everybody knows me also as Sweet Locks. I am the creative projects manager for Briclyn Entertainment. And you are here at the Be Inspired Hour, which is basically a convo series that we started a few weeks ago that features different creatives, entrepreneurs. And the series is created to provide a platform for guests to speak about their craft, as well as to stay inspired on how they crush their craft and inspire others to crush their craft. Thus, you're here on the Crush Your Craft page, so you should know that. I'm checking the time and checking to see, did our vendor arrive? It starts with our vendor, who we will feature. We feature small businesses as well for each segment. And if you haven't, please make sure you visit crushyourcraft.com. We do have shirts on sale. I will always, talk about merchandise. Support. We're a small business as well, so you definitely can go to crushyourcraft.com and get you a shirt. I am looking for our vendor, Mr. Daniels. Do I see him yet? Shia, please let me know if he comes in. How is everyone doing, and where is everybody from while I'm waiting for him? As I'm looking. Yes, Freedom, you need to get a shirt. We have it in white, red, and black. Oh, Mr. Daniels is. Da-da-da. And I just random, but as I was preparing for tonight, realized everyone here is from New York. I'm from New York. I'm a Bronx native. Mr. Daniels, Brooklyn. And when Will comes on, Harlem via Queens. I mean, it's a New York thing. That's why I played a little broad bass earlier. How can we not have a New York? I was going to play, Alicia Keys and Jay-Z, but I couldn't do Empire. I just didn't want to fit here. I didn't want to hear Alicia tonight. No shade. Oh, that's a good idea, Will. We should have a flask. I'm going to go back up and introduce our vendor, Mr. Daniels. He has a custom hat company. I'm going to bring him in. Are you ready? I'm going to bring you in. Mr. Daniels.
Good evening, good evening, good evening.
How are you, sir?
Blessed and highly favored.
All right, that's a good answer. All right. So let's not have we're gonna have church. No, it's never a time not to have.
My wife
church.
calls me the pastor, so sometimes.
My father is a pastor. We're not even gonna go.
Yeah, a brother of the cloth.
down that journey. But introduce us to your hat company, which is
Yeah.
so, I'm in love with them, first of all.
Thank you very much.
When did
Um,
you first start the company?
so, to be brutally honest, my wife and I started something about 3 years ago, and through trial and error, we were able to really come up with Mr. Daniel's Bespoke Hats because we wanted to give the ultimate experience. You know, you go into your generic hat stores where they make 50,000 of one hat, so
Right.
people can buy them. We don't really do that. We focus on the experience. We want you to be able to pick out everything about your hat. We don't want you to walk down the block and see somebody with the same hat on ever. So all of our hats are 100% custom. We come out to your home. We do sizing. We give you samples of different versions of our felt, whether they're beaver fur, whether they're a regular wool, whether they're velour. So I make sure that each client that I make a hat for is 100% satisfied. They get to choose the lining of the hat, the piping of the hat, the ribbon on the hat, whether they want a custom Mr. Daniel's Bespoke hat pin on their hat, or they want to keep it very custom, whether they want their initials on the hat. You know what I mean? I try to make sure that each one of my clients loves the experience because it's about the experience.
I mean,
That's what.
definitely, not to cut you off, but I saw when we, doing my research, I looked at you actually making the hat and pressing the hat.
Yes,
I was like,
yes,
okay, he's for real. He's
yeah,
in
yeah.
there
I do all the work.
literally making these hats,
Yes.
folks. He's not like, oh yeah, I'm sending it to a manufacturer and it's
No,
making your hat. No, I'm making your
no.
hat with my
Yes,
hands,
they're made with
my
these
blood,
hands.
sweat, and
They're made
tears.
with these hands.
Which is amazing because most people dial it in. And it's hard to get something custom made nowadays.
Yes.
It really is. Where
So
can people order or get in contact with you to?
Okay. You can first and foremost you can reach out to me on Instagram, Mr. Daniels Hats. That's MRDAN the number one ELSHATS. And from there you can click the link that take you directly to my website to customize your very own hat. If you're someone who wants a more in-person consultation where I come to your home, sit down with you, show you the books of the different felts that I have, the different ribbons that I have, then the easiest way to reach me is my email is info at Mr. DAN, the number one ELSHATS.com.
Make sure y'all get this information. And another question I did have is, how long does it take you? What is the actual process of just making one hat? Is it a day, 5 hours? How long does
So,
it actually take you?
so if you're doing 100% custom where you're picking out everything you want, I
Right.
ask for up to 4 to 6 weeks. And that's because some things that you may want a part of your hat, maybe I have to outsource. I
Right.
might have to get a certain felt from another country. And I do my very best to give the highest quality felts. I don't want to get you something that you're not going to be in love with. So
Yeah, they are beautiful.
thank you
Those
very
hats are beautiful. I was like, I need to see, can one fit my big head? Because I'm always
much.
looking at hats
I made
like,
a
but I'm
hat for
like, the way this
a
dome and
size.
these locks, I know it's got
Oh
to
yeah,
be the circumference.
I have a system that'll fit your head, regardless if you have a lot of hair or not. Like my wife has this beautiful curly afro, and I made a hat for her.
I
So
think I need a hat.
I've made hats for people who wear like size 9 hat, who have a size 9 fitted hat. That's a big head. So we'll work it out.
I need a hat. Y'all need to check him out and get you a hat. I mean, they are amazing. I wanted to post pictures of them. I didn't even get a chance to grab them. I was like, these are. So please go by his page and look at those hats. They are amazing.
And for the ladies, me and my wife are working on a collaboration right now to make our bespoke hats for women as well. We make hats now for women, but it's a
But
collaboration with my wife's brand, Pieces of Wisdom, to be able to create hats specifically for women who are somewhat more feminine, but
okay,
they have a dope female twist to it. So
I'm here for that. Thank you again for coming by, Mr. Daniels. Please be sure I have you pinned. His information is pinned in the bottom to make sure that you guys go on there. Support, support, support. Thank you
thank you
again for
very much.
coming.
Appreciate you.
No problem.
Take care.
Shout out to that. This is my first time doing this as well, because I've been on hiatus. If some people didn't know, I have a brand new baby boy who is 6 months old. So this is like I'm living right now. I'm giving my best entire life right now. Like I feel like I'm at the club. I'm at a party or something. Like y'all don't understand. I actually put on makeup. I feel like I don't know. Only thing missing, I'm gonna say it again. It's a glass of wine. That's all that's missing. That's all that's missing. Where is the man of the hour? My man of the hour, Mr. William Dawson. Let me add you in. Will, say something, please, if you don't mind. Yes, baby locks. The baby locks. Where's Mr. Dawson? Thank you, Elsa, Uncle TJ. All the family. Lamb is here. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, it's Will.
Hold on, wait. You got a baby? I'm playing. It was a joke.
He knows, like, we know each other. So people don't know, like, he is a friend, and I'm honored. See, we have your.
Oh, fancy! Look at that.
You know, okay. I'm trying a little something.
You crushing this. You know what I'm saying?
You're so pretty. Welcome, Will.
What's going on?
I'm so excited to have you tonight.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me on.
I mean, let me tell you, I was nervous I was like, Will interviews everyone. What? I'm going to talk to. What am I going to say to the man who does it all?
No, it is weird to be on this side.
These journalists.
It's weird to be on this side of the table. I'll tell you that right now, for sure.
I was wondering. I was like, he's probably just as nervous. I was going to hit you up before, and I was like, no, this is going to be authentic. We're going to have a real conversation. We're not even going to give a heads up. Nah, we just going to keep this natural.
First, before we start, shout out to your dad. His birthday was yesterday. He's a fellow Leo, so I wanted to make sure that I shouted him out.
I wasn't even going to shout. I was going to shout you out. See how you jump ahead?
Leo Nation. That's all I'm saying.
Happy early birthday to Will, folks. Will's birthday is on Monday. It's August Wilson, as he calls it.
Every year. But hold on. We're from New York, so it's August Will, son. That's how we do it, you know.
You want me to say the son? I was trying to be all professional up in here, but you want me to put my Bronx on it. I could get real New York real quick.
You got to do it right. Don't do it. You know, that's all I'm saying.
Okay, so we want to put the sun. I didn't know you put the sun on it.
Yeah, August Will,
adds
son.
to it. August Will, son.
Yep.
New
York.
See? Let me stop. I gotta focus, Will. I gotta focus and do what. Yeah, you jumped ahead of me. Like,
you got a baby?
That's not what the people are here to talk about. Will.
Let's talk about your baby. How's your baby doing?
Well, you're not gonna flip this around on me.
No, you know what it is, because we're early. We're running a little early, so I wanted to, give you a little small talk. So how's your baby doing? You growing up good?
Growing good. Keeping me busy.
Good.
I wanted to have a sip of bourbon in honor for you.
Okay.
But, breastfeeding and all that, so.
You got to do what you got to do.
I'm on this water.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, dang, I could have some bourbon. This is the perfect time. It's Will.
Well, I'm with you. I'm doing water, too. I'm not going to do anything big right now.
I'm so glad, because I really thought you were going to be over there.
No.
Partaking of a spirit.
I'll be start singing songs you won't recognize. It'll be bad. You don't want to do that. You don't want me to do that.
Since we got a quick minute before we even, because I was going to throw it in there at some point, even though it's not relevant, I was going to talk about Hamilton, because I never get a chance to talk to you about Hamilton. I'm sorry, folks. This is just, it's like catching up with an old friend, and I just have to make reference to Hamilton. Just the fact of the baby, like the baby enjoys Hamilton. I know everybody's going, he will sit and just be mesmerized.
It's for the kids.
Up until the room where it happens. He's in there like, I was like, you don't even know what's going on. But I'm glad that you like Hamilton, so that we can you can jam with me. I'm sorry, y'all. We're just cutting up like and I'm supposed to be reading.
All good. You want to do some Hamilton karaoke before we start, or are we gonna get started now?
No,
we could do it. I'm ready.
Do you understand?
I wanna be in the room. Well, I gotta do like Leslie. Hi.
I want to do the choreography. Okay, let's focus. When he does the I'm like,
yeah. He was doing all the hands and I'm like, okay, all right.
We gotta focus. We gotta focus, y'all.
That's right. All right, come on, let's go. We ready? All right, it's time.
All right, well, because
All right,
you're gonna make me really, really cut up. Now, Will has worked with, for you guys don't know, worked with all types of brands from McDonald's to Lexus. And you also worked with the National Urban League, Recording Academy. I mean, you've done it all. So within 3 decades of being a journalist, overall, when was the first point you said, I'm going to do journalism? This is for me. This is my niche.
Well,
or did you just fall into it?
No. It was 5th grade. When I knew that I loved words. And our homeroom teacher, Mr. Elephant, shout out to PS15, Jackie Robinson School. He let us write our own stories for homeroom. And so I said, oh, then there's no better way to do this. I love to tell stories, so why not tell a story about Super Willie? And so what I did was I made a whole story about how Super Willie, not me, because that's an alter ego.
That's what I was like.
No, it's an alter ego. He had loved doing heroic things in the neighborhood. And so the first time, my classmates laughed, and they were like, ha ha, but he let us write stories every week, so I had continuing adventures. So I was just telling I was Marvel before Marvel, did all their movies. And so Super Willie, he had a really good run, and they booed me about the 3rd week. So I it wasn't good, but I knew then. That's when I knew that I wanted to tell stories.
Amazing to know at such a young age that's to know that that's your passion and what you want to do.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I wasn't expecting that answer. I thought you was going to say, when I was in high school or college.
No, in 7th grade, my 7th grade English teacher, he helped me get better at telling stories. He saw something in me. Shout out to Mr. Morris, rest in peace to Mr. Morris, but he saw something in me. And what he did is he helped me really just learn how to craft stories and to make them better. And so I knew I wanted to tell other people's stories because Super Willie didn't go over too well, So I wanted to tell other people's stories, but I knew I had a responsibility to do that. So that's when I knew that it was it.
Okay. Within your career, is there a moment where you felt that this was, you solidified that you wanted to do it when you were in 5th grade, but did you know, as we go through our careers, the trials and tribulations of, yes, this is for me? You know what I mean? Like, when did you know for sure within the career that you made the right choice? Because, you could fall and say, well, right, I thought this was the career, but let me go and do something else. What defining moment in your career that you knew that, okay, I'm killing this. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. I know for sure.
Listen, I was already working for the Urban League when I knew. So I worked for the Urban League and I wrote for their magazine. And it's the same magazine that Langston Hughes wrote for. So I was next to him on the masthead. And if you look in their records and their archives, my name's going to be somewhere near his. So, but that's not when I knew. That's not when I knew. Because that was
drop some Langston Hughes. And
no, but that's not even when I knew. Because that was, that was work. Like that was something the first time I knew that this was for me is when I got my first freelance assignment. Because that meant that people saw what I had done, they appreciated my words, and they sought me out to do a story for them. So there was somebody who hit me up and said, hey, can you do this for me? And so that's how when I knew that I can make a living doing this, when somebody said they appreciated my work enough to pay me extra to go out and tell the story for them.
That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Where do I want to go next?
Hamilton.
We're not going. If I can interject a Hamilton reference at some point, trust me, I'm
here for it. I'm gonna be ready.
I was looking right to say. But so, what are some lessons that you took away throughout your? What lessons have you learned?
That telling someone's story as a journalist is a responsibility that cannot be taken lightly. Like you have to be on top of your game, even when you don't feel it. You'll be assigned something, and it could be a tough story, but you could tell the who, what, when, why, and where. But if you don't tell the how, then the story is incomplete, and you're going to lose people. So you have to be able to craft your story in a way where you can draw people in,
Right.
and also give all the facts and kind of like try not so much entertain them, but just keep them involved and invested.
Yeah.
I have a story too where it's not so much for me the how, what, when, all the questions. For me, I get severe writer's block at the beginning. Like I have still to this day, I have a hard time starting a piece. Like, we have all these instruments now to record, to do everything you need to do to get you great notes. But I'll go through my head like, oh, this is how I want to do it. But when it comes time, I will stare at a screen for maybe a day before I can get a flow. And because the beginning is where you draw everybody, and that is the thing.
Girl, if you don't get them in that first paragraph, you've lost them.
That's the hook. So I, to this day, I still have a hard time making sure of what my first paragraph was going to be. And I like that because that means that I'm still invested in it. When I get that little nervous energy going, it might take a day, but I know that I'm onto it, and I know that I will come up with it. But it's rough. Just
But
making sure it's good.
just to give you some praise, you are a true journalist. I did major in journalism. Am I doing anything really in journalism? No. But not like I'm that old. I'm 41, but the fact that from when I was in school and you learned about journalism, the journalism of today is totally different. It's a lot of sensationalism. It's not true journalism. It's fluff pieces. So the fact that you really are doing your craft and taking the time and you really protected and preserving the whole essence of what journalism is big, because it's not. Can you get something quick on TMZ Shade Room? Something like what? That's not real journalism. So thank you for still telling the true stories and having the passion to do it. Because some people are trying to kill it away. No, we need people like you. We need this. So I just want to make sure I said that. Let's see. Okay, no, I'm not going to sing. I was really about to sing the room where it happens. So. I'm focused, though. You're not going to do this to me.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
And as we mentioned, the National Urban League, Briclyn, we're big about HBCUs. So what are some of the different initiatives? I know the BEEP, Black Executive Exchange Program, but can you tell us other initiatives or possibly about that when you were at the league?
Yeah, so BEEP. So I worked with BEEP for like 10 years. So I was with the Urban League for 13 years. And for 10 of those years, I worked with the Black Executive Exchange Program. And so we had volunteers from Fortune 100 companies, and they would come on to HBCU campuses. We worked with maybe like 80 campuses across the country, and we would schedule time in the classrooms for those executives to come, volunteer their time. And so they would have mentoring sessions. They would be able to recruit for when the students got out of school. And then we would have a conference every year in the beginning of the summer. And we would bring 300 students and however many executives would like to come, who would pay for registration, to come down to a specific spot. And we would have workshops. And we also had case competitions where the students could win money for doing their best in those. And we also had a scholarship program. And that scholarship program, that was my baby. Like every year I would have to come up with another essay for the students to do. And we gave away so much money.
I read the bio. I was like, y'all gave away some coin.
And then I took my talents over to Lexus after that.
Oh yeah, we didn't even get to.
No, I know.
That's what I want to know.
No, I want to connect them. So I took my talents over to Lexus, and they were looking for a way to give Black people money, and so I said, "Oh, I have an idea." And so I took what I learned at the Urban League, and from that we started a scholarship there for HBCUs. So we worked with maybe 15 HBCUs there, and we gave away. I forgot how much money they gave away every year, but we did it for like 4 years. So it was pretty dope. And we did it in conjunction. We did it in conjunction with our television show, Versus and Flow.
That's what's going to mention. You segued right to the next question I was going to ask about Versus and Flow. I mean, you worked with the Grammys. For some people know he's written with the Grammys. Tons of other places, but the big one for me was Versus and Flow. But I won't just focus on them. But what is your most memorable project? Is it like who is your most memorable piece that you've worked on, be it a video, actual video interview or one of your written pieces?
Okay, so again, you listen. I've interviewed celebrities. I've interviewed musicians.
That's why I'm intimidated. I'm like, you're interviewing like Grammy award winning people.
The poets are still my friends. Those are my heart. Every time I get a chance to do anything that involves poets, I'll do it. But I will tell you, yes, all that is great. The Grammys were amazing. Getting to go there every year. I saw you every year out in LA. But to me, it was the feature that I was able to do for the Amsterdam News. It was a twofer. It was like the Amsterdam News and Harry Belafonte all in one package. And I was that sitting down with that man was the most intimidating thing, because it was over breakfast, and he had the scratchy voice, and so it was hard to hear him. So I'm sitting there.
What you say, Harry?
Go on, come on, Harry, come on. So he took his time. I wasn't gonna eat because I was that nervous, but he said, "Man, I ain't eating alone. You better go ahead and order something." I was like, "Okay."
So I didn't not know you did Amsterdam News. Like that's that's big.
And it was him. It was right after he recovered from prostate cancer, and so they sent me out there to talk to him about his recovery, and he was very gracious. The only thing I regret, I did not get a photo with him. I was trying to be a true journalist and not be all up in the videos,
I'm not that person. I'm not that person.
Right.
I'm
The Urban League told me that. The Urban League told me that because we work with everybody at the Urban League, all sorts of celebrities and important people. But I was always told to stay out of the mix because that wasn't my job. My job was to do my job.
And you blend in. Supposed to blend in.
Yeah. So I never was the one to be all up in the videos, all up in the screen. So I did not get a photo with Mr. Belafonte. I did not get a photo with I didn't get a photo with Barack Obama when he spoke at the Urban League conference because I was told that I should stay out of the mix. That was before he became president. He came to our conference and I just got out of the way. I was like escorting somebody else, so I'll always regret that.
I don't even understand why I'm acting like I'm shocked, because I know I've been in situations where I've been around some big celebrities.
You know exactly how, yes, because we're in production.
Y'all regular people too.
But we're in production, so we're told just to do our jobs and stay out of the way. And that's what happens. You don't look for it. You don't look.
And it becomes like background noise. Like, oh yeah, I was hanging out. Yeah, I was just close to Will Smith. Now everybody knows I'm a big diehard Will Smith fan. So do you understand the way I had to hold that together?
Yeah, like, somebody you had on your Crush Your Craft, kept on stage. He had a picture of Will Smith. He shows it every chance he gets. Like he met him back in January, and he shows it every chance he gets. Let me tell you, if I had a picture of pre-President Obama with the black hair, Obama with the good hair, I'll be showing it. That would be my cover. That would not. He would not have. That would be my cover.
You got me. Look, listen. I had to be real good. I was assigned to Senator John Lewis at that time.
Oh.
So I was there for working the opening of the National African American Museum. And I was standing there right next to Will, and I was just like, I gotta keep it together. Gotta here on the job and focus. And all my good friends know, they're like, you were that close to Will and you didn't. Yeah, that's another.
You see what I'm saying? Man.
Inside it was like, whoo, I'm bursting.
Oh,
but the professionalism was there. We can't.
You got to do it. That's how you condition. That's what you got to do. And that's why people keep hiring us, because we know what we got to do.
Right, because you can't be that person playing and just to get in that space.
They get that one photo, but they're gone soon, so that they don't last.
They're like, oh, you did a great job. Won't be back.
But I tell you what, if I had a second chance with Barry with the good hair, I would have been all up in the video, I'm just saying.
I'm not doing this with you.
I would have been in the room. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm finished. I'm sorry. Keep going, please. Come on. All right.
I want you to know Hamilton songs are running through my mind. Okay.
Hi. Come on. Focus. Here we go.
As I'm thinking, what did I miss? Singing in the background.
Okay.
We're not going to do that.
We're not going to do it.
So we can say that to the people joining in. So what did I miss? Okay, we can.
Oh, we could. You're
missing a whole.
Man.
If we have time again, maybe we might do a little karaoke for you guys.
17. Okay, sorry. Go ahead. I'm ready. I'm gonna
get serious. This is a serious question, though.
Yeah.
How is the state of what's going on in the world in terms of the pandemic and race issues affected your work?
Well, how is that affecting my work? Well, okay, so at the beginning of this year, like 2018-19 was a weird time for me. Like, I had done a lot of work. I'd spent like 20 years working for like Black organizations.
Yeah.
And so, after a while, things shift, especially with major corporations. They want to do something else, so they cut budgets. So this year, I was back. I was back. People had reached out to me. I was a speechwriter for a nonprofit, a CEO of a nonprofit in Seattle. I was working with a major college program, writing their scripts for all their events. And of course, when March came, everything shut down. So it really forced me to, I couldn't get down on myself because it wasn't because of anything I did that everything had to pause. So what I did was, because I knew that I still mattered, I wanted to make sure that I told stories that still mattered. So I had to shift. And thanks to my lady, shout out, she's on here, the Cubicle Chick. She encouraged me to let everybody know what I did, right? Put it out there and remind people, reintroduce myself. And so when I did that, I was able to get a gig now during the pandemic, working for a nonprofit in Atlanta. And so I'm the communication manager for them. Shout out to Future Foundation. So I'm doing that. And also what I've always done, I've loved telling Black stories. So last month on my own, I reached out to my friends on Juneteenth and I said, hey, this is what I want to do for July. I want to tell our stories of how we've survived or how we've made it through the first half of this year. And people reached out, they didn't have to. They should have saw my email, like, okay, take it easy. But about 20 people responded, and I was able to tell their stories and give them a platform to really let people know that, yeah, Black lives matter, Black stories matter too, and we are out here. So it was really representative of what we as a nation of Black people were going through, because I had a variety of everybody. So we're not a monolith, but our stories, they are relatable. And so I love that I was able to do that. I'm working on something else for September. Let's see who responds to that email. I want to do something a little different, but yeah, that's what I've been trying.
I'm sure someone's going to respond to you.
I hope so. That's what I've been trying to do this year, trying to just continue to tell stories.
I'll say, this is a question similar to what we asked, but I'm going to skip it.
Oh,
close to what we've already touched.
Pass. Like if we was playing heads up, pass. Go ahead.
I'm going to pass. I don't want to reiterate on that. I want to, just in case something else comes up, I want to talk about the book.
Oh,
Some of you guys don't know, Will released a book.
You mean this book?
Look, why are we doing this? I'm ready. I have my digital copy. So I purchased the digital copy of the book. It's called An Introvert's Guide to Surviving a Global Pandemic. Now, honestly, when I read it, I was like, off the bat, I'm like, I'm not an introvert. I don't know what they do, but I'm going to read this because it's Will. I'm going to support. And then when I read it, I was like, wait, I feel like I'm being seen. Like maybe I didn't know I was an introvert. I really did not realize that I'm an introvert. Shout out to Will having masks and everything. Like, I need one of those.
Hey man, I had to follow the hat guy. Do you think I wasn't gonna have some kind of accessory out here? Come on, I'm in these streets.
Will, I mean,
I had to follow Mr. Daniels. I had to do something. If I can't have Jack Daniels, then I can have a mask on. That's what I got.
You did an amazing job on the book. I just want to say that because I'm telling you, I was laughing out loud at certain parts. Like, yeah, okay, I do that. Because I'm still in my mind like, no, I'm not an introvert. No, maybe, okay. I think I'm part introvert. So I definitely suggest everyone picking up a copy of the book. So can you let us know where they can get it?
Oh, yeah. So there's two ways to get it now. All right, so here's the deal. So I just wanted to release it digitally, when it first came out in April, and that was fine. Sales went fine. And so there's a link to the digital release. No, but I can say it right now. I could type it in, and maybe we can pin it later. But it's bit.ly/introvert ebook, right? So bit.ly//introvert ebook. All right, don't forget the E is ebook, right? So that was all I was trying to do. But then I said to myself, and then I put the link on Amazon as well. So you can get it on Amazon as well. You just look up The Introvert's Guide to Surviving a Global Pandemic. But I wanted to feel it in my hand. You know how when you do something, you want to like feel a copy of it. So I decided to print like 20 copies just to give maybe to my older relatives who are banned from the internet because of stuff they did in the past. You don't know. And so what I wanted to do was just be able to send that to them in case they wanted to take a look. And so I did like 20 copies. I made a mistake of putting it out there, and people were like, oh, I want an autograph copy. So I was like, maybe I should do that. So
you are talented, so don't
look,
sleep on yourself.
So I did the first 20 copies, sold those. Then people still wanted it. I got 25 more copies. Then I did 35 copies. So I've sold almost 100 books so far, physical copies of the book, in addition to the downloads. So every book has had a personal note in it just to thank people for supporting. I'm taking a break from it now because it's birthday week. But if you still would like an autographed copy of the book, hit up me or Sweet Locks, and then she will get the information to me, and then we will make it happen. But it will be after next week because it's birthday week.
Because it's August will, son.
Yeah, August will, son. So I got a break. Yeah, I see another Hamilton. All right, we got it. So, but it's just amazing. Like when you can feel something you've done in your hand, it just makes it all the more tangible. It makes it feel all the more real. So I'm glad I printed out some copies. I'm glad people have been supporting for over the last month. Like I said, almost 100 copies of physical copies. So it's been good.
Tell people why they should get the book. I mean, I know why.
Well, introverts are misunderstood. So here was the first thing when I first put the book out. People were like, "Oh, I don't need that. I'm not an introvert." But so it's not a book for introverts.
That's what I first thought as well.
Right. It's a book from an introvert. So I'm giving you an introvert's view of how we can get through this. We're misunderstood. People think we always want to be alone or stay in the house. Not true. What we want to do is be in the house to recharge, right? So our batteries get low quicker than other people's. You know me. SOBs, I was there with you every week and I wasn't even working. I was there. We love live music, so I love being in the mix. So that's why this year is really killing me because I can't do that. But so I'm in the mix. Like I had to do live events for the Grammys. I had to do live events, for
that's
other.
What I never would have thought. I was like, he's an introvert.
But it's really, I need to get out of there quickly to recharge. And so that's what the Introvert's Guide is. Here are some tips from someone who would rather sometimes be away from people on how you can survive during this time when we have to be away from people, right? So that's the
introverts
book.
are the kings of this. Y'all holding this down like y'all. This is the blueprint on how to survive. This is really the blueprint. If you're not used to being inside, this is the blueprint on how you can survive. It's insane.
So I did 25 ways that you can do that. Humor filled. There's nothing scientific about it, but you get there are ways that you can get through it. And then so from that, I now have a series of Introvert's Guide books coming out. It'll be about different things.
See, you jumping ahead. So I was asking about to say that was towards the end of what you had coming up, and now that's good to know because I know you're working on a book as well, another book. See how you want to play. Will, stop playing. Will,
I'm being quiet. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, you do have. So you have a series coming out with it, but you also have a book coming out, don't you? Another book that you're working on. I do. Are you going to give us any taste or tell us what it might be about?
Well, I'm scared to do that, and I'll tell you why.
Okay, no, I'm not going to hold you to it. Then
no. I will tell you why, because people want to know. Like so this is what happens. Like, oh, this book is nice, but where's your book? That's what I get all the time from people. I'm like, okay, all right, you just hit me over the head, why don't you? No, what happens is this. I have had a book in me since I was in my 20s, right? That book has changed over the years. The first book would be, oh, I don't know my birth family. Right. So that was the first book. So here I am. How does a kid who doesn't know his birth family make it in the world? Right. Okay. Then in 2014, my birth family found me. Right. So now the book has to change because now I do know my birth family. So all those years of procrastinating kind of paid off. That's the way I want to look at it, because now I have another book to write. Right. So that book is in me. So now I thought I knew how I wanted to do it. I still do, but I've been putting it off because before I wrote this book, before I wrote this book, I was scared to put something out because I didn't know if people would want to read it. I did not know if my story would matter to the masses, and so I overthought. That's my major flaw. I overthink everything. So
That's a word.
that's my major flaw. So putting out this book, The Introvert's Guide, was a major accomplishment because of all those years of me thinking, overthinking, doing my main book. Like I have a title for the book and everything. I came with it on an airplane in the mid-flight. I was like, oh, and then I ran with that. But so there is a book coming. I will not play myself and say when, but what I will say is it is coming.
Well, that's good to know that you do have something coming.
Yeah. However,
don't.
there is I'm going to make this a series. So I have 4 introverts guides coming first. It's a series. It's going to be a series of books. This was the first. I'm literally almost finished the second one. So I'll probably put that one out after this next book run. If people want the book, after this next print run, I will put out the second book.
So it'll be a total of 4 or 4 additional to this?
There'll be a total of 4, including this one. Yeah.
You need your own cartoon series. That's another topic. Because I know the graphic designer of the cover, Faith. Shout out to Faith.
That's my guy. That's my brother.
Your own. He needs to make you your own, cartoon comics about this. Like, I kid you not. Like, it would be something. I love comics. I love comic strips.
We're working on some things. He got a baby. He got a brand new baby too. Wait, you had a baby? No.
Like,
so anyway, so he has a baby.
We're literally, our babies are probably like 2 weeks or literally short. So his baby should be about 6 months too now.
So yeah, so it's easy. It's easy getting him on the phone. It's hard getting him in the studio now because he's working. He just shaved his head, man. He's going through a lot. So what I'm saying is, we got to be patient with him. But we are working on some things. That's my guy. I
understand. You know how much it took to pull this together and get here on this? I was like, oh, this is going to be hard. I don't know. Yeah. This is I've been doing work behind the scenes, but this is the first thing I've done where people have actually seen me for the first time in.
No, look, when she has said that you were going to be the one interviewing me, I was like, oh, this is going to be fun.
I thought you was going to be like, man, nah, not Tiff.
No.
Nah, anybody else but Tiff.
No. She said we got Tiff coming. I was like, oh, come on, let's go, let's hit it. Ask her. That's exactly what I said. She was like, phew, a perfect parent. That's what she said. So yeah, I was ready.
Cause we're comical people. We like to cut up. I'm trying to see. I'm checking my time because I'm still trying to squeeze in a karaoke session.
Oh,
let's give everybody a little bit of something. I may not sing, but I might let you go ahead and spit a few bars of something.
Yeah, come on, don't play.
You can do not throwing away my shot. You know what I mean? You can do.
Hamilton doesn't hesitate. He exhibits no restraint. He takes and he takes and he takes. Come on, let's go. Let's get it. What we doing?
He keeps winning anyway, but I'm not gonna go down.
Come on,
all right, no. Ooh, wait for it. Don't play with wait for it. Ooh, okay. All right, nobody else is Hamilton, man.
Everybody's like, what are they doing? I don't
even know. Just wait for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, what's your next question? Come on, let's go. I got it. I'm ready.
You're supposed to be serious. We did discuss journalism in terms of versus the past versus now, but you do also write still with Soulbounce, right?
No. I wrote with Soulbounce for 3 years. I think it was 3 years.
Well, how did you start doing work with them? Was it off of stuff at the Urban League or just because,
No. Actually, all right. So, back in the day, there was a generation of us that started out as bloggers, and we were ahead of our time because we were just doing it for the love of words and to waste time at work and to just let everybody in, just tell stories. And so back in, I think it was like 2005, we started blogging. So there was a community of us and Butter. Her mama named her Kimberly. I'm gonna call her Kimberly. Kimberly was one of the prominent bloggers along with myself, and so we were friendly for online, right? So we So when she started, her and Nova started Soul Bounce, I thought it was dope. And so I would hit her every now and then. I was like, yo, this is amazing. Y'all doing great work. Music is my thing, so this is amazing. And then one day she said, hey, we're really looking for somebody. I was like, oh, yeah, that'd be good. She was like, what about you? I was like, So that's how I came on board. We'd seen each other's writing for years. And so she invited me on board. I think I was there for, like I said, 3 years. And we did amazing work. We did the Countdown that was controversial. We did the Men Love Mary project, which Eric was a part of, and Demo was a part of. That was amazing. We had a live show of it at SOBs.
Yep.
So that was the prime time. So it was 4 of us and then plus 1. So it was myself, Nova, Butter, and Ilmami, who is Dr. Imani Walker, who is now on Married to Medicine LA.
It's so funny.
Shout out to Ilmami.
Where everybody has gone off and done in their life.
Right. Killing the game. And so there was the 4. We were the core 4. We were the original 4. Then our girl Camille joined us, and then I left. I think after 3 years, right before I moved to LA, I left. But it was because of Soul Bounce. It was because of blogging that I got the gig at the Grammys. Fave was already down, Butter was already down. So our girl Beverly, she was in charge of it. She saw my writing, brought me on board. So there was actually 3 of us from Soul Bounce, because Fave was down with us too, and Honey. I better not forget Honey, because she'll kill me. Honey was the graphic designer. She did her thing.
Honey is a beast.
And Fave contributed as well. But it was the 3 of us from Soul Bounce that represented at the Grammys all those years.
I remember, it was like, you're the cool kids.
Yeah.
Y'all the cool kids. Y'all were in the room where it happens. I mean.
But no, let's wait on that. But I'm gonna say that Men Love Mary project. I don't know if we released it at the wrong time, because it was like the 15th anniversary of my life back at the time. Right. But that was so amazing, because we really just had men singing all the songs from that album.
They need to reissue that out. And
it was just amazing. I think it's one of, because I do not keep up with them now, but it was one of the greatest things Soul Bounce has ever done. And we were babies then. Like, we were literally maybe like 2 years into what we were doing. But,
I don't think anybody can you still even get a copy of that?
I'm sure there is. Yeah. Listen, Fave will find it, and he will let you
find
know.
It somewhere you can find a copy.
It's archived somewhere. I think I do know, but I forgot the website, but I'll get that to y'all. But it is just one of the greatest things they did. Eric did My Life, and Demo did Mary's Joint. That was one of my favorite songs. And, we had different people just killing it. Darian Dean did a song. I think he did.
I listened to that album and.
No, it was amazing. T.L. Cross.
It was a classic.
Our guy from Queens, he did a joint too. So it was an amazing project.
Oh, I know where I'm going to ask you next, because if you guys did not know, but you probably don't, but Will also has his own podcast. You have your hands in a little bit of everything. The Dawson Eats America.
Yeah. Which
celebrates Black chefs and the culture. What made you decide to do that? Because I know you're not a chef.
No. But again, it's going, like, my career has been working with Black people, and my career has been working with brands that are catering to Black people. And so that is what I know. Like, I have met so many Black people over the years who could use their own platform, who deserve their own platform. And so I want to do that for Black chefs. They may not have their own restaurant yet. They might be working out of somebody's kitchen or their own kitchen. And so what I wanted to do is just hear their stories. We have such a great history when it comes to food. I was talking to somebody about it earlier today. My girl Vanessa hit me up on Facebook Messenger. She said, you need to just talk to scholars or historians, food historians, and just tell their stories now that we can't go to restaurants because of the pandemic. And I was like, that's exactly what I want to do, because those chefs, those brilliant people making something out of nothing, deserve their own platform. And so that's what I want to do with Dawson Eats America. We're in season 2.5 now. I wanted to keep going with the podcast, but what really made me shut it down is that there's only so many ways that you can say what you're dealing with during this pandemic, right? So you can do it, but it's just going to be podcast after podcast of how people are dealing with what's going on. So what I really want to do is wait hopefully in the fall, what I'll start doing is telling those historian stories, and hopefully if we open back up next year, I can get back with the chefs and really be on site with them, do video interviews, and see them craft their cuisine. So that's the purpose for it. I just want to give a platform to as many Black people as possible. This one, because I love food, is going to be
Awesome, Alan.
for the chefs. I love food, so it's going to be with the chefs. So that's what I want to do.
I got to do that move, the will move. I gotta
However, right, you got to.
I want to be. Okay.
Come on,
Like,
man.
I pull
Don't
out
start
notes.
now. You can't finish. Look at this. I'm ready. All right. Sorry.
We're having too much fun. This.
Yes. Sorry. I'm answering questions. Sorry.
I'm trying to get it together.
Mm.
Okay. Where I want to go. Where do I want to go? Because we're almost at the time. I want to see where I want to go. I have two good questions. Well, one question is, how do you stay up to date with everything in the industry? I know how everything is overloaded with information. How are you keeping up to date with your profession of journalism? And how do you stay current? Even though everything has changed with journalism anyway.
Yeah, it's kind of rough because you have certain staples that you would go to. Like I listen to a lot of podcasts now because that's how you get a lot of good news, like from independent people. The mainstream is going to tell what they want, and so for every story they tell, there's 100 more that are not told. So I subscribe to a lot. I subscribe to a lot of Black podcasts. My Facebook feed is filled with like people telling the stories that aren't told on the news, and so I have that as a pipeline to really just keep up with what's going on because again, we heard about the rioting from Black Lives Matter, but we didn't hear about those behind the scenes stories that are going on with every protest in every city. So I have friends in different cities that are telling me what's really going on in them streets. And so I just try to keep abreast that way because I know there are going to be stories that need to be told. And so them giving me that information helps me to find a platform so that these stories can be told.
My final question for you is, because you already told us how you're crushing your craft and where you're going next with other projects, what key or what advice would you want to give to someone, to the younger generation or anyone, in terms of not just journalism, but their craft, their passion? What words of encouragement can you give or wisdom can you share about crushing your craft in that aspect?
We used to speak at the HBCUs all the time, be in the classroom. What I would always tell the students is, there's going to be something that you would die for, right? There's going to be something that you would do whatever you had to do in order to make that happen. Do it, right? Because there's never a straight line to success. We know that. Everybody we was around at SOBs, like all those people, they have a story to tell how they were mega talented, but they got to clean floors or work at a fast food restaurant or sleep on a floor or do something. So just be prepared to know how to do something else. So do what you have to do. It's like from the Great Debaters. Do what you have to do in order to do what you want to do. So be prepared for that. Your success is going to be in a zigzag. It's never going to be overnight. It's never going to be a straight line. So if you love it, you're going to have to pay dues in order to do it. So be prepared for that. Hopefully, it won't take as long now because now you can make your own. You could own your own things like music. You see it now. Nobody's going to labels anymore. You can, because of the internet, everybody has an opinion. So people get 6-figure deals from tweets. Like people will see what they've been tweeting about and they're like, oh, let's give him a deal. So just be responsible with what you put out there, and make sure that you love what you're doing. Don't fake it. Just be prepared to pay some dues before you get it.
It's not overnight success.
Yeah.
As it's not you get a deal overnight.
No.
No, you don't have to. Wait for it. Okay, no.
No, it took Lynn like over a year to write one song, and then they were like, "Yo, where's the next song?" He was like, "Hold on."
That's a great correlation of what he did with Hamilton. If people don't really realize, like Lin-Manuel worked years on that. It just didn't just like, okay, I wrote all these songs at one time. it took years to
No.
write. Wasn't he working on it back like in '08 or something?
Yeah.
Like 08, 09?
That's
took
when he went
years
to the White House in
before it
09.
became
Yeah,
what it was in 2016, and even it was huge in 2016. But here we are 4 years later. You still it's a rebirth. It's brand new all over again for people. So
yeah,
you got to stay the course.
Yeah.
Stay the course. That was my last question. Thank you so much for being a part. I mean, like, it went by fast. I can still keep talking to you because we still have to do our karaoke, but I'm not.
Oh.
This is not. We need to just do our own little Instagram live. Will and Sweet Locks, the karaoke edition.
Yeah, we want to remain professional. People are going to be watching this after talking about what is their problem. But they can look at it as intermissions, interludes. You know, albums used to have those. You know, you don't just go straight through. You know,
We want to keep the people watching, so that's why I'm not going to sing.
No, but seriously, Tiff.
Is that my no?
Seriously, no. Let me ask you a question. You had a baby?
I did. Does it look? Yeah, I'm actually. Does anyone have any questions? Because Will's trying to get me to talk about the baby.
Let's talk about your baby. Like, how's the baby doing?
We've already talked about the baby in the first.
Did we?
Yeah, we did. See, this is how we get old. We talked about this at the beginning.
I know we did. I know.
But I want to thank everyone again. If anyone has any questions, definitely. Oh, I think I might have a question for us. We know you love music and you're a journalist. What's on your playlist right now?
Oh, listen, I have, man, I wish I could look at it right now. I have, there's an artist that listen, first of all, I'm all old school. So literally, if you really want to know what I was listening to, I was at my boy's house over the weekend. I was listening to Jay-Z Unplugged. So let's just be clear about that. But there are new artists that I do love. I could listen when I drove across the country in 2016, coming back east from LA. The Hamilton soundtrack took me clear across the country. It was just on a loop, driving through Texas and Arizona the entire way. So I am an old school. I am loyal when I get something. That's why people know me for bourbon and people know me for Hamilton and banana pudding and you know so and bacon because when I'm loyal to something, I'm really loyal to something. So. Yes, the Hamilton soundtrack. Yes, old school Jay-Z. There are new artists out there that I'm blanking on right now, but there are some artists out there that I love, and so I have a playlist of them now. So it's a mixed bag, but you know I love music. So
Oh, man, I'm like,
sorry,
Shishi,
Shishi, I didn't have anything concrete. Sorry.
I'm like, oh man, we're about to be out of time.
Like
if I could, I'd extend it and go another.
Don't do it.
Don't
do it.
I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to get in trouble. But thank you, everyone, for coming to Crush Your Craft, Be Inspired Power Hour with William Dawson. I'm so thankful for you being here, Will.
Welcome back to the spotlight. You were out for a little while, but here you are. You back.
Yeah, we're going to talk offline. I got other stuff to tell you. There's a whole other thing because you touched on something that I definitely want to talk more about.
Okay.
Separate. But if you guys come back next week, we have Algebra Blessed on Tuesday on the 18th. And on the 20th, we have Brandon Scoop B. Robinson, who's a sports journalist and media personality. So please come back.
I'm not going to tell you what to do, but y'all should get Algebra to sing something for sure. You know,
I'm a lit Algebra dude. All of the singing.
You know what I'm saying?
And I actually am wearing her lip gloss, her lip line. Like a preview.
Well, she has an eyebrow line. I'm wearing her eyebrow line now. I'm just letting y'all know what's happening.
I have like a minute and 17 seconds. You want to spit some verse?
No.
Drop some knowledge.
Oh, don't do that.
You're taking the stands. You
Nope.
sit. I'm going to sit.
No, we're going to do our own thing. I'm not going to do it. We're not going to do it. We're going to do our own thing, and then we're going to release it, and people are going to be forced to listen
to it.
But
I'm seriously thinking about doing some type of online karaoke. Like, everybody's laughing at us, but I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm just saying. I've had a great time. No other questions?
Shout out to Elsa. Shout out to Elsa. Shout out to Courtney. Thank you for being so communicative with me this week. Shout out to my lady, Danielle. She's out there. Shout out to everybody that, of course, Shishi, you know. And welcome back to Prime Time, Tiff. It was great having this conversation with you.
Oh, thank you. I'm honored. I know I'm going to ask you a plethora of things. I'm trying to step out of my own comfort zone and do more.
You got to do it.
I like to be in the back. I like to be in the back.
This is a great start. This was a great start. So congratulations. Keep crushing your craft, mama.
I love you, Will.